Hey everybody, I'm the Ranting Monkey, and with me as always is Scribe. Say hi, Scribe.
Hi, Scribe.
Um, we probably shouldn't even be doing this. He's getting tired, and I am tired, but I'm not asleep yet, so we're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Now,
push through the alcohol in my system and the instinct to just collapse since this is far past my bedtime.
yeah, we're both up later than we should be. Hey everybody, damn, chat's starting to fill up.
Really?
Yes. Hi everybody.
What's wrong with you people? Why aren't you asleep?
Will you not tell them not to watch us?
No, it's not to watch. I'm just amazed. It's like okay.
Hey Bear. Hi Pop Tart. And hi, some dumb American. She's in the chat with us.
Oh wow. Hey SDA. Now
As
I had the pleasure of watching SDA do her presentation and Q&A with Hunter Avalone earlier today, and
I didn't I didn't get to see it. I have only watched her portion of it, and that's when you and I decided to stream. So I've only seen her presentation, which I thought was
mm,
very good.
yeah, and as far as I know, I kind of got distracted by other things afterwards, but as far as I know, I had the only question asked from the chat, and I guess I stumped SDA, and apparently Hunter Avalone as well, which was kind of funny.
Did you ask something that they wouldn't know because of their age?
No, no, they had both given their presentations on their perspectives on both debate and how to try to balance your beliefs while still giving time and opportunity to another opinion and that kind of thing. And so I'd asked them both, when was the last time that you remember, at least, that you had your opinion drastically changed on an issue, and what caused that? Because one of the things that we hope we do is that we keep ourselves open to the possibility that we could be convinced um, in another direction of an opinion we may have, even if on the slight chance that we might be wrong or there might be another direction to come at it from. And so I was just curious for both of them. Granted, that was part of their psychology. Let's say, when was the
Hmm.
last time that happened? And to the best of my knowledge, well, Hunter Avalon came up with gay marriage because apparently in his younger years he was completely against it, and then, as he put it, he met some gay people, and, and his opinion changed. SDA, however, she didn't come up with anything, so I stumped her, which was kind of entertaining.
Real quick before I get into that, I want to explain to everybody. We did say last night that we weren't streaming, and technically we didn't lie because this is a new day for both of us. It's past midnight. We weren't going to stream. I had a really rough day yesterday. I was so tired. I was actually asleep by 8:15 last night. It was glorious. Unfortunately, I woke up at 11:30 and haven't been able to get back to sleep yet. So we decided to do this. As for that, see, I still think you set them up because they're too young to have changed their minds that often.
Well, I mean, not that young. I mean,
Well, SDA's like 8.
oh, well, that's true. Okay, I'll give it. Yeah, she's a minor. That's all right.
I'm just fucking with her because she can't answer back. I
Yay!
heard she tried meatloaf for the first time.
Oh,
That's not
really?
No, that's not true. I'm making that up. We can say whatever we want about her because she cannot defend herself.
Do you think it was bad out of hell, or do you think it was back into hell?
I think it was both. She put them both in her mouth.
Oh my God! You mean in and out? Wow.
In the chat right now, she's talking about how much she loves me and I'm her hero.
Oh, hero monkey.
About her presentation, she talked about the need to know your opponent's argument, and
Mm-hmm.
I cannot stress to anybody who wants to argue how important that is. You can have all of the views you want, but if you never challenge them, then you have just as much chance of being wrong as anyone else. Even if you agree with everything I say, if you never listen to the other side,
Mm-hmm.
you might not find out that you think I'm actually really fucking stupid.
Yeah. One of the.
I'm
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm not, but it's possible.
Right. Yeah. One of these skills that is it's very hard to attain, and it's not always even that easy to retain, even if you're capable of it, is to be able to entertain an idea without accepting it.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, yeah, even because there seems to be this fear, and we see it in a lot of the extreme sides of either side of the equation, where just the notion of listening to someone who you may already have a notion that you're going to disagree with is somehow repellent, or somehow sort of like a cross to a vampire. You just got to stay away from it. And it's just words, it's just ideas. It's not going to harm you. And, this is how you create an echo chamber, by not entertaining the possibility of someone else's idea. Not that because you're exposed to it, suddenly you've been tainted or corrupted, or just listening to them is somehow going to make you a bad person. Or you see all those clips of videos. There's this one where I've seen this played several times, where a guy is trying to go into a talk. I think it was in Canada, and he's being accosted outside by a woman who is, why would you want to go pay money to, I think it was like a harasser of women or a misogynist or something. And, the guy says, a friend of mine killed himself because he was depressed about things that had happened to him for being a man. And I just wanted to listen to this person to find out, maybe I could understand why that happened. And she's yelling at him and calling him scum and all this kind of thing. And I'm just like, yeah, okay. Listening to someone else's opinion, even if it's one that falls diametrically opposed to your own, is not going to infect you. It's not a virus. And on the off chance that your mind could be changed, that's not a bad thing.
I absolutely agree with you, and I'm going to answer that in a second. Some dumb American in the chat is giving me shit because I didn't link her video. It will be linked. I didn't link anything. I just started the stream so I could get it going.
God, what an attention whore.
I will
Jesus
link
Christ,
your
she's
damn
gone for 2
speech.
days, and the world doesn't revolve around her every second. Jeez Louise, you got flown down to Texas for nothing. You got everything covered. Jeez.
I knew I couldn't watch, so I made sure to tweet it out this afternoon so people would watch, and she's giving me shit for this.
I sat waiting for the thing to start. It was an hour and 15 minutes late from actually starting when it was supposed to. She said it's starting soon. They said it was supposed to start at 1 Mountain Time. So I was sitting here a half hour before noon my time waiting, and then an hour afterwards, just to make sure I could see her live and put support in the chat and everything. And this is the thanks I get.
SDA, I love you, and I will get it in the description when I finish this up. Whether we're too tired to do it tonight or not, I'll get it in there for you. I don't understand why people are so afraid of being wrong. Here's my whole view on being proven incorrect. If I am wrong, I would rather find out right now so that I don't keep repeating stupid shit for weeks, months, years later. I would rather be wrong once than keep saying stupid shit for the rest of my life. So I challenge everything I hear. And it doesn't stop me from making mistakes. But when I do make a mistake, I acknowledge it and I move on with my fucking life. It's not that big of a deal to make a mistake, guys. And it's not that big of a deal to have your ideology challenged. It's a good thing to have your ideology challenged. That's how we fucking evolve as people.
Yeah, I don't understand how. I mean, don't get me wrong. I hate finding out that I'm wrong. I hate finding out. I hate finding out I made a mistake. Nobody likes finding out that they said something under the basis of some false notion or some misunderstanding or something. Just the other day, there was a Washington Post article that said something to the effect of professors being harassed or something for teaching about white morality. Now, I read it as white morality, and I made a tweet on that basis. But I was at work, and so when I looked back at it right afterwards, I saw, oh no, that's not morality, that's mortality.
Oh, that's just different.
I was like, well, that's definitely a different concept. So I went and immediately deleted my tweet because it was completely wrong based on the subject. I was guilty of just reading the headline like so many others because I was lazy and I was just reacting to the notion. And then I tweeted out next, I said, I love it when I find out after I've tweeted some opinionated thing that I misread the point that was being made. I feel so intelligent right now. But what do I learn from that? You see this. You see, I don't understand. It's like it's such a basic lesson. Like, okay, you touch the stove, you know it's hot. You never touch it again. That's supposedly the lesson,
Right.
and it's a useful thing. This is how we figure things out: trial and error. You don't get to just keep trialing without erroring. If you
Right.
try to
Yeah.
do that, then you're creating not only some kind of weird nebulous safety zone, but you're also risking an infallibility complex. And that is fuck more dangerous than screwing up, for God's sakes.
Well, here's another part. If learning the other side doesn't necessarily mean you're going to change your mind, it also helps to make your argument stronger. Maybe there is something that you had a little bit wrong, and correcting that makes your argument better. It does happen. This is why I hate people like Steve Shives so much, where they just will not listen to the other side no matter what. It makes no sense to have that little faith in your own fucking argument.
Mm-hmm.
Um, oh, somebody quoted Thomas Edison. I successfully discovered 1,000 different ways not to make a light bulb.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, if everybody who failed never tried again, where would we be? Failures tell you something. Failures can be as valuable as a success
yeah.
because it's information. It's a result. It is a result of having tried something. Um, I work in information technology, and when we're testing a product or something else, if it doesn't work, that is valuable because we need to know it doesn't work, and then we need to know how it doesn't work, and then we need to refine it so that it does work. That's the process, and it's the same thing in life. And like I said, I'm no saint on this point. I hate screwing up. I hate thinking that I'm wrong. I hate finding out that I'm wrong. But it doesn't destroy me to discover that. It might be momentarily inconvenient or awkward, like with my tweet the other day, that kind of thing. But it's like, guess what? I'm a human being, and but I don't. Yeah, I could go around in circles more on this.
Well,
I don't get the absolute almost psychopathic need to never be wrong.
some dumb American just said it's also fun to be able to argue the opposing point better than the actual opposition. And as
Right.
somebody who argues just for the fun of it, one of my favorite things to do when somebody comments on my video and wage gap, for instance, and they'll do their little spiel, and I'll go, no, what you meant to say was da 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 da. Here's your side's argument. Let me spell that out for you, and here's why you're still fucking wrong. Anyway.
Yeah, I remember. I think I've told this story before when the two Mormon kids came to my door one day. I tell you the story.
I believe you did.
Yeah. Anyway, I was able to rattle off to them facts about their own church and their own religion that I'm sure they knew, but they didn't expect me to have any notion of, in order
Yeah.
to sort of counter their spiel. Um, and yeah, there's nothing better than knowing something about the other side of the argument so that you're not completely caught flat-footed. Even if you know in your heart of hearts that everything about their side of the argument is wrong, at least you know it. At least you can say, okay, well, I've tested this against my own notion of whatever the issue is. And if I'm honest with myself, are there any holes it can poke in my side? You have to be
Yeah.
devil's advocate for yourself too, and take the position of the opposite side, because if you don't test your own beliefs against an opposing viewpoint, then you're no better than some evangelical preacher on a stage telling everybody what the truth is.
Okay, I did link her video down there. So people, make sure you watch that. She gave a good presentation. I haven't watched Hunter's to see how he did, and I didn't get to see the roundtable. I will watch them eventually. But definitely give it a look there. Apparently SDA can't function. That's not news. You don't have to write that out. But go ahead and watch it. It was really good what she said, and take it to heart. Learn the lesson. Make sure you know what the other side is saying so that you're not making a fool of yourself. Okay. Did we miss anything in the news today? I wasn't even paying attention. Oh,
Well, let's
real
see.
quick,
Oh,
the reason I was like media silent yesterday is Grand Monkey turned 2. So
yay!
I didn't even pull my phone out very often. Good night, SDA.
Night
You did a
SDA.
good job, sweetie. Um, so yeah, I missed everything. So I
Uh,
assume we didn't blow anything else up.
oh well, no, we didn't blow anything else up, but Syria put the air base we blew up back into operation, and then shot more missiles at the target that took the chemical weapons the other day.
That sounds about right. It's what I expected to happen from all of that.
Yeah.
Um, I understand why we did what we did, but the practical effect of this is saying, okay, you can't kill people with chemical weapons,
Mm-hmm.
but you can kill them any other way you want to.
Yep.
And that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing now. So, okay, and I've seen this list a couple times now. There's been a list of like, here's all the countries that supported what Trump did, and here's a list of countries that didn't. And the list of countries that didn't is about like Russia, China, Iran, and Syria, and then every other country on the planet basically says, yeah, this was a good thing. The problem is this just felt good. It didn't do good, if you know what I mean.
yeah.
Ultimately, all that happens is that we blew up some buildings and blew up some planes and stuff, and maybe killed some personnel. They moved in immediately. I mean, they had photos of planes getting ready to take off from the airbase with half of the hangars crumbled, but it was still functional, or they made
Mm-hmm.
it functional. And then they launched attacks on the same town or the same area that took the chemical weapons attacks on Tuesday, with regular weapons, conventional weapons. I guess they didn't kill that many people, thankfully. I mean, what the silver lining you can find is the one you get, I guess. And now what? I mean, we're right back where we started. So the question is, are we going to do more? And what are the risks in doing that? Now that we've sort of had our tantrum, we did a little wrist slap mostly. And now what?
Well, the inevitable one, we made Putin look like a bit of an asshole here, not
Mm-hmm.
only by bombing the Syrian base, but by calling him complicit or incompetent publicly, which sure, maybe he is, but you know, diplomacy, folks. Putin is not a humble man.
No.
The Syrians and the Russians are now going to double down
Yep.
because they have to save face.
Yep.
So yeah, those people aren't going to be dying from, hopefully won't be dying from, a chemical attack, but there's going to be a whole lot more rubble over there.
And
And
sorry.
we're not going to get involved. We're not.
Uh, At this
I,
point, I don't know because I mean, Trump wasn't going to do this at all when he was running. As far as I'm concerned, the field is open at this stage of the game. I could be
but
surprised by anything, but I won't be surprised if it happens. You know what I mean?
yeah, I can understand where that comes from, but you also have to look at why we reportedly did this. It wasn't just because this wasn't the regime change argument that keeps being floated that
No.
Paul Joseph Watson, oh, he's become, part of the, I forget what his fucking retarded tweets have said. Yeah, Trump talked about just staying out of Syria, but this was a specific case. This wasn't they're killing people, so we're going to bomb their base. This was they used chemical weapons, so we're going to bomb that base.
Mm-hmm.
We have the some world support with that, but actually putting boots on the ground and going to war, or even just starting to launch attacks against their bases because of conventional attacks, I just don't see us getting the same support on that.
Monkey Scribe, what did you think of BPS's? Who's BPS? I don't know all the initials. Do you know who BPS is?
BPS.
Uh, Beach Party Singers? I don't know.
Big penis scrotum.
Whoa! Hey, now we're not talking about Australian bacon.
Oh, this is the time in the show where I have to talk about my dick. Monkey's dick has been mentioned. What is BPS? I
Okay.
should know that. Black Pigeon
Oh,
Speaks.
Black
Oh,
Pigeon
yeah, yeah,
Speaks.
yeah.
I haven't
I
watched
don't
Black
really
Pigeon
watch
Speaks
them.
in a long time. Yeah.
Oh, I did want to talk to you. I think you were the one who brought it up.
You want to talk to me? Oh.
Yeah, yeah. No, I wanted to address something you said the other day when we
Oh.
were when the whole demonetization. Switching
Mm.
topics, everybody.
Uh-oh. Whoa!
Shit, yeah, I actually gave him a trigger alert this time.
Ah!
Uh, Trigger alert, trigger warning. Damn it.
It's late. It's okay.
Yeah, nobody's watching anyway. Jesus Christ, why are so many people watching? I love you guys. You guys are awesome. David Pakman. I was not familiar with him. And it came up the other day that he was talking about how people were advertising specifically on his channel and they weren't showing up anyway. And I don't,
Yes.
I thought it was you. Maybe, am I right about that?
It was me, yes.
Okay. I did look into further that. I actually watched his video on it, and it's what I thought. He's being hyperbolic, which I understand because he's losing a shit ton of money.
It's true.
But what happened in that case is the advertiser, they tell them what kind of content they want to be on, and they can list specific channels. But the way YouTube advertising works, there's not enough money to go around to everybody like there was. $1 billion, well, $750 million coming out of your advertising budget's a lot.
Yeah.
And so what happens is the ads are given priority. And he is a victim right now of YouTube getting way too sensitive about things. Any news talk is going to be shut down right now. And he does talk about some controversial things. But if you read the advertising guidelines that we go by, any news talk is a no-no.
Yeah. Current events, political scandal or political controversy, etc.
So anybody who's getting struck a lot is going to be moved to a lesser, how do I say? You're moved way down the ladder, and people who aren't getting struck, who aren't violating the guidelines. I did air quotes there. You guys can't see that, but guidelines is going to get preference. So it's not that person was advertising on his site. They just gave a preference to channels, because there's actually like 4 or 5 that he names, or she names, because this was a letter from a viewer, that they prefer their content to be on, and that's great. But YouTube is still going to be in ultimate control of that. And I know that was completely off topic, and you guys might not even care about that shit, but we talked about it the other day, and while I was sitting here bored out of my mind trying to find something to do or praying for sleep, I finally watched his stuff and wanted to clarify on that.
I wonder how much of a hit TYT is taking then.
Oh, I bet they've lost pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Much like David is, and anyone who does regular news.
So also in the realm of actual news, and this is on the other side of the world with the other brewing front of conflict, the U.S. has sent a carrier strike group towards the Korean Peninsula. This is a show of force. Let me get to the article real quick and read a little bit off the paragraph here. A U.S. aircraft carrier-led strike group is headed towards the Western Pacific Ocean near the Korean Peninsula. A U.S. defense official confirmed to CNN. Don't play video. Stop. Okay. The move of the Vinson strike group is in. I told you not to play video. God.
It's not listening to you.
This CNN, I tell you what, I open up a CNN article and they have to have their video playing immediately.
Yeah.
It drowns out my ears and I can't think when I've got. Anyway.
You know what it reminds me of? Before you get off, this reminds me of MySpace before it ended.
MySpace, yeah.
Everybody would have fucking music play if you went to those. Oh.
Yeah.
That's what drove me away.
Yeah, I need to learn to mute these tabs when the time comes. Anyway, the move of the Vinson strike group is in response to recent North Korean provocations, the official said. Adam Harry Harris, God, what was his parents thinking? The commander of the U.S. Pacific Command directed the USS Carl Vinson strike group to sail north to the Western Pacific after departing Singapore on Saturday. It is not uncommon for aircraft carriers to operate in that area, and the United States regularly deploys military assets such as aircraft to the region as a show of force. In fact, the Vinson was in South Korea last month for military exercises. Okay, so this is an unusual, they say. Just days ago, North Korea launched. Oh, I didn't even. Oh, well, this is a detail I wasn't aware of. North Korea launched a Scud extended range missile. Now, for anybody who's old enough to remember when Scud became a household name, that was in the first Gulf War when those
Yes.
things started being aimed towards Israel, and the Patriot missiles um, took out Scuds over.
Well,
Well, some of them did. They said they did. We were told they did.
CNN was reporting nightly that we were just blasting them out of the sky, and then
Yeah.
years later turns out, yeah, we might have hit one.
Yeah, exactly. That was the news. That was what we were told. I should back up. Anyway, so news of the carrier move comes just after a summit meeting between U.S. President Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping, or however you say that, where North Korea was one of the top items on the agenda. U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said Trump and Xi agreed on the, quote, urgency of the threat of North Korea's nuclear weapons program and agreed to work together to resolve the issue peacefully. What does that mean? Are they going to agree to economic sanctions? Is China going to go over there and say stop?
Can we even levy any more sanctions against them? Do they have any money left?
What did Hitchens call it? A necrocracy.
Yeah.
You have the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit between Kim Jong Un, his father, and his grandfather, both still being the dear leaders, even though they're dead.
Yes.
Like, God, or a mausolocracy. It was either a mausolocracy or a necrocracy. I like necrocracy better. That sounds good. That should be a movie title.
No, that would end up being some weird porn.
Mike Judge does necrocracy. It's called idiocracy. Necrocracy.
What China should do is they should take out Kim, just fucking shoot the little fucker, and install a good Nike plant over there in North Korea, and somebody who's very positive on Nike, and just bring them into the Western world with the rest of us. I think that would be better for everybody involved. Sure, they'd only be making pennies a day, but they'd be making pennies instead of what the hell do they have over there?
In China?
No, in North Korea.
Oh, North Korea. Oh, God, I don't even know what the currency in North Korea is.
It's like dirt or something. They trade in rocks.
2 cheese wheels and a mule.
They don't have 2 cheese wheels. They have 1.
No, they have a wedge.
The only reason we're sending that over there just to say, we can. You really don't want to fuck with us.
You know what it's called? So I look up North Korea money, and it's North Korean won. WON. I was like, North Korea won? Won what?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Korea's they've been doing this for decades. They're not getting enough attention, so they'll saber rattle a little bit, and we give them the attention they want, and everything quiets down until they're not getting enough attention again.
Yeah, pretty much. Or send. Oh wait, no, is it? I guess it was his father. It wasn't Kim Jong Un that liked that particular. Kim Jong Il didn't like that or did like that kind of cognac or something. There was like some special cognac that he was like addicted to.
The only thing I know about that man specifically is that he shot a round of golf and scored an 18.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Like birds sang his name when he was born. There's all these stories where like every time he played golf, he always hit a birdie on the first shot, and when he was born, all the birds in the country sang or something. And just all these very religious like creation myths about the birth of these guys and their power and their infallibility and so on. I mean, it really is a social religion or a political religion more than anything else. And there's so many documentaries about what goes on inside North Korea and how the people act. And I forget what it was. There was one that There's a relatively recent one where you just see these families like gathered around photos of the dear leader and just crying their eyes out over whatever he's saying on the radio or when he died or whatever else. And I watch these things and I think, okay, are they doing this because they know if they don't, they're going to get shot? Are they doing this because they're on camera and they're being told to? Or do they actually believe this? The fact that I can't tell is probably scarier than knowing the truth, you know?
I I think they honestly believe it, and I'll get back to that in just a second. The Good Wolf just said that I linked the wrong SDA speech.
Uh-oh.
That's her fault because I didn't go to my YouTube history. I went to our DMs and got the link that she sent me earlier today and used that. So I will fix it later. But that's her fault. And don't go watch her video during my stream.
Yeah,
Watch it
jerk.
after. Damn
Yeah,
it.
it's not going anywhere. We're live right now. You can watch that thing whenever. You can watch it for a year from now. We're
Yeah, no
here right
shit.
now. Yeah, you could talk to us now. Jeez.
If you go back and look at the propaganda of Japan during World War II, I remember watching this documentary on them, and they're talking to these Chinese people. Chinese people. Fuck, all Asians are the same. No.
Oh my God! Did you just say that on a street? Clip that. Somebody clip that.
Fuck. Okay. Japan. Watching these people from Japan, and they were talking about how when you talk about whether or not the nukes were the right thing to do, this is something to keep in mind. The Japanese people at that time were being told that the Americans were going to come over there and not only kill them, but eat them. That's what they were being.
Yeah.
It was propaganda, and they believed it. There weren't Japanese people. That's not really going to happen. North Korea is so isolated, and they get so much of their information from one source that it's entirely plausible and even likely that they believe it entirely because it's all they're hearing.
Yeah, if you want to see, if you want to get an example of what it must be like in North Korea on a microcosm level, find and it's easy to find them, the tapes of Jonestown during the time
Oh,
when they're in Guyana, and there are recordings. The FBI recovered like 900 some odd hours of recordings of tapes of their activities before they got to Guyana and during. And there are these recordings of Jim Jones just reading the news through his personal filter to his followers in Guyana over the loudspeakers, like 24/7, telling them what's going on in the world and how it affects them and how yada yada yada. And he was their only source of information from beyond the jungle.
mhm,
And you listen to interviews with people who survived it talking about it, and it's like, if you have no other source of information, what do you know what the truth is?
mhm,
And even if you suspect that some of what he's saying is bullshit, how do you know for sure? This is like a not even a self-imposed, an imposed echo chamber. This is like the worst case scenario of what an echo chamber is.
um, sorry, just reading some of the things going on in chat there.
Uh-oh.
It- it's so easy for us, especially here in the West, where free speech is a virtue, at least in our country. Fuck the rest of the world. Um, to sit back and go, oh, I would question something like that. I can't believe people would believe this shit. But it happens here in our country with religious cults all the fucking time. They're not all as bad as Jonestown. I mean, they're not all suicide cults. Well, what's the word? Um, they weren't necessarily a suicide cult. A lot of
No.
them didn't know they were in a suicide cult. But we had Heaven's Gate.
Yeah.
We have these big ones, but there are smaller, really fucked up cults out there that happen in a country like ours where you're allowed to question whatever you want. So to figure it happening anywhere else shouldn't even be a question.
Well, this is the danger of when you have the cult is the government. When the cult is the government, when you have a theocracy like Iran, like North Korea. I mean, North Korea is communist, and so they are atheist, and yet they're not because they still worship dead leaders, and they have all these stories. So it's a religion. It's the creepiest religion on the planet, probably. But yeah, I mean, we have had in our country cults, splinter groups, religious factions, and so on and so on.
Mhm.
Thankfully, except in exceedingly limited ideological senses that usually get checked and balanced by the rest of the system, we don't live in a theocracy. Thank Cthulhu. Yeah.
Well, this actually goes back to talking or knowing the other side's argument as well. Somebody mentioned in the chat there, SJWs are a cult, and they really are. Um, and it's allowed to work because people don't expose themselves to other ideas. When you don't get the option to expose yourself to other ideas, it's even worse. I mean, Jim
Mhm.
Jones moved his cult to the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yep.
And this is a time when you didn't have internet. I mean, even if they could have got news there, it was going to be late.
Oh, it was ham radio was pretty much their only
Yeah.
contact with the outside world.
Mortimer Duke says that your spotlight character here in the stream looks like you're standing at a urinal. And the only reason I highlighted him is because he's named himself after a character from two of my favorite movies.
Spotlight care. I'm missing something. What?
In the chat or in the stream,
Yeah.
where it's only spotlighting part of your portrait, kind of looks like you're standing at a
Oh.
urinal.
Oh. I
A
had
very
never thought of it in that way before. That's an interesting interpretation. Tell me, if I got out some Rorschach pictures, would you be able to tell me some other things you see and interpret? Do you often obsess about urinals? No, I'm just kidding. Sort of.
I'm just thinking that's a really nice looking bathroom.
Oh yeah, hey, nothing but the best for me. Or a painting from 1818 or whatever.
Um, I forgot what I was even talking about now.
Urinals.
I am so tired, you guys. Oh man. And I have to be. We are celebrating Easter today, and yes,
Oh yeah.
I am agnostic, but I still celebrate Christian holidays in the um, consumerist manner. I love holidays. I love Christmas. Christmas is one of my favorite holidays, and it's not because of Jesus; it's because of Santa Claus. Um, Easter for me is not about somebody getting nailed to a cross; it's about chocolate bunnies, and I'm okay with that. That'll probably upset some Christians, but you'll be fine. Yes, Easter is next week, Mara, but we have family up. They came up for Little Butt's birthday, so we're going to just celebrate it while everybody's here. So we will be hiding eggs, coloring eggs, and eating way more candy than we ever should tomorrow. Well, not me, because of the whole diabetes thing. I'll only eat a little bit. The best urinals are the ones where you can just aim at the wall.
Oh, is that those trough ones? Like those?
I fucking hate those.
Oh, that's so gross. Oh God. Yeah. Yeah.
And for me, it's not even about, there's a dude with his dick out standing right next to me and there's nothing separating us. It's that there's nothing separating us. And if his splashes, it could get on me.
Yeah. Yuck. Thank God for private plumbing most places and
Yes.
Western civilization, and we're not living like animals mostly.
You were in a cult, or you were a cult?
I know there's actually a YouTuber I know who was raised in a cult and still has to live with her. Yeah, Destiny Twilight. I don't know what the cult is. She wouldn't name it because it would dox her and a whole bunch of other stuff. But she is still living at home. Her parents are still members of this cult. She has decoupled herself from it, even though she still has to take part in certain activities related to. And as soon as she has the ability to move out on her own, she will be doing so lickety split. But yeah, I interviewed her a couple months ago on that, and that was just I can't even imagine. Yeah, it's such an alien notion to me.
That was on her channel, right?
Yes, she hosted on it. So Destiny's Twilight. If you Google that, you look it up in YouTube, you should probably find her. She's an artist. It was an interesting interview, and because I've put a lot of time just out of morbid curiosity into the reason I brought up Jonestown is because I put in some sort of self-imposed research into the thing just because I found it so fascinating. It happened the year I was born, I believe. It was a 78 or 79, something in there. It was relatively recently after I was it was born. and that's where the whole phrase "drink the Kool-Aid" came from, and so many other. It affected so many other things, and I read several books on it. I got all the recordings I could get my hands on that the Jonestown Institute has available on their website, just because I wanted to listen to this stuff, and it's freaky. You know, it's
Mm.
like listening. It's like listening to a real life horror show sometimes with some of the things that are going on when you have these meetings in Guyana where they'd have a little kid come up, and you can just imagine it's all mind's eye stuff because it's like listening to a radio show, and you just listen to Jim Jones talking to this child in what you know has to be the pavilion with this whole audience around, and he's asking the child, you know, your family back in America that aren't here with us, that are trying to take you away from us. What would you do to them right now? I'd chop off their arms and feed them to them. And you hear like this little like 6, 7 year old saying this shit, and then laughing, and they're all laughing like they're absolutely out of their goddamn minds. It is scary as hell, and I can just and you think about what kind of psychology gets people to the point where that's acceptable, that's okay, that makes everything this is a community based around that kind of just inhumanity, you know, and you just like I'm losing my train of thought because I'm
No,
tired
you're
as fuck
fine.
right now. But basically, it's when listening to that kind of thing and then trying to imagine what goes on behind closed doors in any fundamentalist church, pick your religion, whatever, all the stuff that's not being recorded or filmed or otherwise, but any fundamentalist church, and what what could go on, and how far people can be made to or are willing to go in order to adhere to an ideology, fit in with a group, and not feel like they have to have opposing ideas come into their brains.
Can you get the link to the interview you did with her and post it in the chat there?
Yes, I will
Diz
find that.
asked.
I will do that.
Somebody asked if I'm opposed to crossing the streams. Yes, I am. That's disgusting. You shouldn't have your dick that close to somebody if there's not a threesome involved.
Are you sure they weren't talking about Ghostbusters?
I'm pretty sure because we were still on the urine thing.
Oh, the urine thing.
This is entirely off topic. One of the reasons we're doing Easter this early is because my in-laws actually came in from out of state for Little Butt's birthday. And she was so excited today, so excited to get presents. This child is so spoiled and got so many presents today. She got bored opening them and stopped.
Jesus.
Yeah, she is a little spoiled shit. But I just can't imagine that. We grew up rather poor. We were a Navy family with 3 kids, and I cannot imagine for your second birthday getting so many presents that you got bored from it.
Too much birthday cake.
Oh,
Too much of a good thing.
oh, it was so funny when we sang "Happy Birthday" to her. As soon as the singing started, for some reason it triggered the shit out of my granddaughter, and she immediately attacked the person to her left. I mean, lunged at them.
Okay.
She hadn't had a nap, and she gets kind of cranky, but it was funny as hell. They pulled her off, and she just throws this massive fit as everybody's singing "Happy Birthday." It was a surreal experience. Once everybody stopped singing, she was fine. Apparently, she was anti-singing today. Well, my father-in-law got her a birthday card that sings, and she opens it up and it starts singing, and she yells, closed it, and threw it. It's like,
wow.
She's never had a singing card before. I think it scared her.
But she likes hearing Grandpa sing, though.
Oh yeah, she loves when Grandpa sings.
Yeah, you really need to get like we were talking about this before. You need to like try to like do some kind of interview with her or something, or record her and just have like a video, or start a kids channel with just like Grand Monkey speaks.
It so sucks. She is so cute, and I know everybody says that about their kids and grandkids, but there are good genes in my family. My children and my grandchildren are just cute as shit. Grandchild, I should say.
Yes.
I wish I could film her and put it on YouTube.
You can.
It would be. I could, but I can't.
No. What you do is you film her, and then you superimpose the Grand Monkey icon face over her face while she's running
Oh, there you
around.
go.
And that
But
way
then
you
you don't get
predict.
to see her cute face, which is
Yeah,
the
but
best
you get
part.
to see her cute little, midget arm movements as she's running around and her voice and everything else without having to sort of expose her identity and everything else. That's
Well,
one option.
she's getting to the point now where she's trying to um, test Grandpa,
Of
and every
course.
so often she'll give me a dirty look, and it's so funny because it's the same dirty look that I used to give my mother, and I know that look because I've seen myself make it like in reflections and stuff. So I know that look, and I'm like, little girl, that's not going to work on me. It works on Grandma because Grandma's like, what? And I'm like, don't even. Monkey, what ship was your dad assigned to? My dad was on several ships. He was on the Decatur. He was on the Guadalcanal, the Tripoli. He was usually on LPHs. That's a helicopter and marine transport ship. Had a dad channel. Dire Wolf, are you still here? People are asking for you in the chat.
Dire Wolf. Yeah, Dire Wolf and Foxy, I think, are bestest friends now. They're doing video collabs together.
Oh, cool.
Let's see.
Oh no, she's not slightly autistic. She is very spoiled. Very. Did you not hear about the presents?
Oh yeah, too many presents. Music is
so
bad.
Spoiled.
She must kill all music, and presents are too much. I had an
Well, I
interesting
actually
thing.
wonder.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I wonder how much of that is because Grandpa's the one who sings to her, and that's who should be singing.
She's been conditioned. There's only
Yes,
one.
but go ahead.
There's only one preferred singer. Oh, I was just gonna say, I've had a interesting thing happen today. This is kind of a self plug, but it puts me in a weird sort of position. I'm not gonna name names or anything, although it's pretty easy to
Doggy
find out.
style?
No,
Oh, that's not weird. That'd be
not
like
that position. No, that position is something else. I had a request over Twitter today to do criminally undersubbed videos for a couple of people. For anybody who doesn't know, I said when I hit 500 subscribers, I'd start a little series because during the course of my starting up this whole thing, a phrase that several different people who had not, as far as I know, commiserated on it, said to me was, "You are criminally undersubbed." And I heard that so many times, I thought, when I hit 500 subscribers, I'll start a series called Criminally Undersubbed, and I'll profile channels that are smaller than me at whatever point I am and that I think deserve more attention. I did this a couple of times. And then today, somebody tweeted me and said, "Hey, could you do one on this channel? And if you think I'm worth it, could you do one on mine?" And so this, and I've had a couple of requests, not specifically about the criminally undersubbed thing, but I've had similar sort of requests of like hosting people's stuff or doing things, sort of, and I know that you, as big a channel you are, you've had a lot of requests and things and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's very odd position to be in. I don't know how to quite to describe it. It's sort of like
there's a few things that have happened since my channel has grown that have made me very uncomfortable because I want to help everybody. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
But if I helped everybody who asks, that would be all I did.
Yeah.
And what I get a lot is people who want to do collabs with me. And as you know, my time is
limited.
We started talking at 3:30 in the morning because my schedule is so fucked up with the way I sleep that I cannot commit to that stuff.
Yeah.
The few times I have, like the last time me and SDA worked together, when she approached me about it, I'm like, I would love to. But you have to understand that I cannot guarantee you when I will be done with this. And she was really cool about it. And that was actually before we streamed. So this is what, we weren't even really friends at the time. It was, we knew each other and I wanted to work with her. So, but there does come that point where people are asking you for this. And I want to help everybody. I really do. And when you started that series, I almost warned you about this.
Yeah.
Because when I started out way back when, I used to promote people all the time. And it got to the point that I was getting asked for it constantly. And it's not that I don't want to help you guys out. It's really not.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's that you get so many requests, and if you don't do them all, then you feel like an asshole. So you get, I went, I went either I'm going to have to do everybody or I'm going to have to do nobody.
Yeah, that's and I haven't reached quite that decision point yet. And this has got I want to preface this by saying this isn't any kind of comment on anybody who's made these requests to me at all. It's just sort of the general feel of it
Hmm.
because my sort of dilemma is the obvious scenario of somebody asks me, um, what do I do except say I'll take a look, and then if I do take a look and I don't, what is that saying to them about my opinion of
Exactly.
them and how that might be interpreted and everything else? It's like, um, I've promoted some channels of people that I genuinely, I both know sort of through YouTube, like I've talked to them socially as much as socially gets on streams and things like that, and I genuinely like their content, etc.
Hmm.
But then with a complete stranger says, "Hey, could you do one on my friend, or could you do one on me?" And it's like, okay, well, I'll take a look at your channel, I guess. But being it's sort of like an insincere apology.
Yeah,
It's like,
I feel you.
you said that, but then is it real? It's like, what a dilemma. So I guess the question is, and I'll put this to you and to the chat as well, because I'm more than willing to take outside input. Uh, am I setting myself up for a fall by continuing this series, or is there some other way I could go about it that wouldn't make me feel and or be interpreted as a complete jerk if if I can't accommodate
Well,
like requests?
that was my problem. It's not that I didn't want to look at. When people say, "Will you please look at my channel?" I always look.
Yeah.
And the one that really gets me is, will you tell me what you think? I am a blunt person. I don't, if you ask me for my opinion, I'm going to give it to you.
Hmm.
Um, so but there are times where somebody goes, "Will you look at my channel?" Like, that's a really good channel. Maybe you just need to work on your audio a little bit. And then there's times people go, "Will you look at my channel?" It's like, um, I don't want to say anything to you because
Yeah.
you need to fix everything. And it's not a bad thing. And being blunt like this, since as long as I can remember, I know how things can get taken wrong.
Yeah.
Direwolf and me, he asked me to look at his channel a long time ago, and when I first gave him my critique, I thought he was going to get like heartbroken because it wasn't that he did everything wrong. It's just things that he could improve on. And I wasn't, I don't want to come off like I know everything. And I probably go too far when I do give that advice in telling, look, this is just my opinion. This is what I would change. This is just my opinion. Maybe you should do this. This is just my opinion. Because I don't want to come off like I know everything. It puts
Right.
you in a position where you're like, I don't want to be an asshole to you. I'm just some guy who started a YouTube channel
Right.
and I don't know what I've done right. I
Yeah.
really don't. I'm new to this, guys. I can tell you what I do and I
Hmm.
can look at what you do and tell you how I would do it different. But there are so many people so much better at this than me.
Yeah. And
Um
I'm not Simon Cowell. I can't sit here and
yeah.
pretend like I know the truth of this, that, or the other thing. And honestly, it's difficult for me to say necessarily that, if I watch somebody else's channel. And again, I am not talking about anybody who's spoken to me in the last 12 hours or whatever. I'm just saying in general. If I look at somebody's channel and maybe it's not my cup of tea, or
Hmm.
maybe their style just doesn't jive with me or whatever, that's all I could say. It doesn't mean that their stuff is bad. I mean, like if their argumentation is bad, like I've seen a couple. I remember this was a long time ago. This is months and months ago. Someone was trying to get Irate Bear's attention, and Irate Bear uh, wasn't sure, so he sent a link to the video that the guy had sent him to a couple of us, and we looked at it. And within the first 3 minutes, I was like, uh, "This guy is nothing but ad hominems. There's no substance here whatsoever." And he's also like maybe like 17 or 18 or something. So
Hmm.
extended all that kind of stuff. So I could make that comment and feel comfortable with it. But as far as like someone just sort of stating their opinion, I, I don't know. Like, what do you want me to say? Is it good or something? Because my level of good is like Like the first one I did was for Gabrielle.
Mhm.
And Gabrielle's got like 8 videos on his channel, and he hasn't put out a new video in months, and he really needs to. But I know that, whatever's going on in his life, and his videos are like amazing. They're like just the editing and the timing and the comedy and the scripting, everything. Oh my god, it's so fun.
I was actually pissed at you when I started watching because it was something I wanted to watch, and you said, "Hey, but he's not really making as much." I like, don't introduce me to something I'm gonna like, and it's
I know.
ending. You,
Well,
you dick.
part of doing that video was sort of like, hey, Gabrielle, if I get you more subscribers, you're gonna have more people wanting to see your stuff. So put out more stuff. But he hasn't done anything because I assume he's got real life stuff. I don't know what his real life is like, and I just I'm stalking him. So that's all there is to it. But that, I mean, something like that, that's about like the high pinnacle of this guy needs more attention because holy shit, his videos are on par with stuff that I'd watch from Bering or Sargon from back in the day and everything else. Um, so my standards are pretty high, but at the same time, it's like look at the individual, like Bloodwing. Now I mean, he's entered into the realm of like self-produced cinema now.
Right.
Jesus. But I mean, in general, prior to that, he was just a guy talking on a video, like so many of us. But Bloodwing has something that a lot of people don't have, and that's perspective. He's got knowledge directly of things before the land before time, before smartphones and civil rights laws and everything else to a certain extent.
In the
Uh,
before time.
in the before time. So anyway, yeah, I just maybe I'm probably setting myself up for a fall if I try to make it more complicated as to what the barrier for entry is to me giving your channel attention. Then I'm just setting up more rules for people to try to complain about.
Here's
So,
to address your specific problem, and this is
yeah.
why I got away from promoting people.
Mhm.
Now I will only promote something if it jumps out at me and really caught my attention, like with Banjo Girl, with Carrie Ann.
Yeah.
I did not expect to. By that time, I was like, no, I'm not doing any more promoting of anybody. The only other way I'll do it is if I'm like with your video the other day, I picked up where you left off. It would have
Mhm.
been a completely dick move not to mention you at all in that. Um,
Yeah, dick move in the vagina video. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But I, I would tell people, I'm happy to take a look, but I have a list of creators I want to promote. Maybe you'll be
Mhm.
on that list one day, maybe not.
Mhm.
That's as much as I can commit to.
Yeah.
And that's what I have to do with everybody on the collabs. And I hate to keep talking about that, but I get so many requests for these, and I feel so horrible having to tell people. I don't even tell them no. It's like it's something I will consider,
Yeah.
but I just cannot commit.
Yeah. I had I forget who it was. I put up my very first guest video last week or whatever, and somebody in the comments said something effective. What does one have to do to get a guest video on your channel? And I stopped because I saw the same kind of danger then that I'm experiencing now with the whole criminally under sub thing, and I just stopped and said, I was very blunt. I said, when you are invited to put one on my channel.
Yeah, there you go.
Period. And that's it. Just is like I mean, not to be a jerk. And then of course, this person, I went and watched some of their stuff on their channel. I'm like, hey, I actually kind of like this stuff. You want to do a guest video? It's just like
Yeah, there you go.
it does happen. So, um, yeah, I guess. I mean, maybe this is the pitfalls of good intentions.
And
Um,
I was just about to comment on this, and Mason said, "Oh my God, we get it. You're famous." No, it's not about being
no,
famous.
no, no,
I
no,
realize this can sound like a great problem to have, but it's
no.
really not, because I am very blunt, but I am not a mean person. I mean, if you see
Yeah,
my videos and you see some of the, I'm making jokes at their expense, yes,
yeah,
but I am not a mean person. One of the things that has pissed me off most in my life is somebody will go, "You will love this person. They're just like you." And then I meet them and they're a fucking dick.
yeah,
They're not blunt. They're not honest. They're just fucking mean. And I am not mean for the sake of being mean.
yeah.
And feeling mean, I feel so bad about this stuff because I do want to help everybody. I really do.
Yeah, Mason,
I
we
just
we know you were joking, but the thing is that you touch on something that's actually true. And I've had this happen. Not, I mean, this is happening more and more lately. And I'm not even some huge channel or anything. And the awkward part of it is, um, this is both sort of my self-deprecating nature that's just part of who I am, and also a sense of trying to maintain a sense of humbleness to this whole thing, because I'm getting more attention online now than I think I ever have socially in my entire life. And I'm not bragging. I'm just saying that that is the case. And it's very awkward because I don't feel that. I've had people DM me like, and I'm not calling anybody out or anything. I'm not complaining. This is why it's so awkward. It's just things that have happened. Uh, People speaking to me like they're bothering me, like I'm so important that
Oh
they're
God,
bothering.
yes.
And I'm like, no, look, hey, no, I'm not important. I mean, if I was PewDiePie, then maybe it would be something if I were talking to you with everything else going on. But no, I'm just some schmuck who 6 months ago I was nothing, nobody. I don't even have. I mean, talk to Monkey. He's got 12, almost 13,000 subscribers. Like that means anything. It's just such a weird.
Well,
I don't know.
I'm with you. For I know as somebody who used to watch videos who didn't make them, it's like wow. Like the first time I talked to Bearing, you guys, I
Mhm.
was a fucking nervous wreck because this is one of my heroes. And Bearing, if you talk to him, Bearing's just a guy.
Yeah.
And as I've grown with this, me and Scribe are just guys. We're two guys who happen to meet up in a stream sometime and we hit it off and we talk every night now. We're just two dudes.
Yeah.
If you saw me on the street, you wouldn't even look at me twice. Well, I am a pretty man, so you might look twice, but you wouldn't you wouldn't be impressed by me at all. I'm
Yeah.
just me. This is me talking. So it's a really weird feeling to have people go, I'm sorry if I'm bothering you. Like, please don't treat me like that. That's why I put out that
Yeah.
tweet saying if I ignore something you said, please don't take it personal. I
Yeah.
am also very easily distracted, as you can probably tell from the streams.
Mhm. Oh, I
But
just tell people. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I will see a tweet or a DM to me, and I will read it, and I will go to comment, and something else will catch my attention, and I will completely forget I ever read that until somebody sends me a thing. I'm sorry if I was bothering you. Like, no, you weren't. You really weren't.
Yeah.
I'm just a dickhead. I apologize. That's on me, not you.
Yeah, most times if well, whether it's Twitter or, I mean, I generally check the comments. I see the comments that go on my videos a lot clearer because I actually get a notification that says, there's the new comments or something. But as
Mhm.
far as like Twitter or anything else, if I haven't responded in a while, it's probably because A, I'm either at work, because most of the day I'm at work if I'm on Twitter. And then B, if I'm at home, I'm not on Twitter because I'm playing a video game because I was on Twitter all day at work, or I'm working on a video, or I'm just killing time until the next monkey stream starts or something like that. And like I say, I don't. To some extent, I feel that modern urgency of having to respond right away, or else a long pause, seems like apathy or indifference to whatever's been said. But
Mhm.
really, it's just I'm not looking at Twitter every 3 seconds. I don't have a smartphone in my hand that I've got attached to my eyeballs. So that's just all there is to it. And I can understand, if not knowing, it's sort of the God of the gaps thing. If you don't have any information, you're going to fill it in with whatever seems most convenient. And most convenient is,
Yes.
oh, they're ignoring me. And like, no, I'm not ignoring you. And like, oh, I don't mean to annoy you. No. If you're annoying me, I will tell you that you're annoying me. Otherwise, you're just text on a screen. That's all it is. It's like, yeah, I'm not. I hope I'm not bothering you. I hope you're not bothering me, etc. It's like,
Well, another thing that I have a problem with is I hate seeing new messages and not reading them. So, like, I will be in the middle of
mm,
something and see that I have a new message, and I'll read it, and
right,
I'll respond to that when I get a second.
right,
And the next thing I know, it's 2 days later, and I'm an asshole.
yeah,
And I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you're calling me. I'm an asshole for doing that. That's on me.
yeah. No, I love talking to people when somebody. It's such a weird and gratifying experience. And I'm not, again. This isn't ego talking. It's just sort of it's just a surprise where someone will message me who I've never heard of before, who's from another part of the world or whatever else, and just say, I saw your video and it's awesome, and da 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 da, or I saw your video and you got this wrong or something else. It's I was just I've said this on streams before, and I was just thinking about it earlier today on the presumption. Oh, what happened is that I was watching SDA's presentation in Texas, and I was watching it live, and then they took questions. The guy on the chat said, questions, people. And then I wrote a question, and then 3 minutes later or less, it was read live to the people on the stream I was watching in my apartment while they're in Texas. And afterwards, I went to the grocery store to get some snacks or something. I was walking home and thinking, what a fucking crazy world we live in where that just happened.
Yeah.
And I understand it is such a commonplace thing now. It's not that big of a deal to people. But when I stop for a second and just think, like I said, the whole thing that the Blood Wings got, that you and I have to a certain extent, is perspective on times before this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just the idea that that happened, and how many things, how many mechanisms of technology and advancement and convenience and everything have arrived in such a short amount of time, where I could do that.
Well,
I could watch something live, type something onto a keyboard, watch it on a screen, both go to there and then be asked on my behalf to the speakers I was just watching. It just So now when somebody messages me out of the blue and says complimentary things, or just says, I saw I listened to a stream on Monkey's channel, and I checked out your channel, and it's really cool stuff, and I just subscribed. It's like a little tiny miracle in my own mind, and it's also it's flattering, it's surprising, and it's humbling all at the same time.
I miss being able to answer every comment I get, because I am still so blown away by the fact anybody gives a shit about what I'm saying. Guys, I hope this doesn't come off as humble bragging. This is really not.
No,
I hope all of you get channels big enough where you can experience this feeling, so you understand what we're talking about. It's almost, I love doing this, and it's not something that, it's a great problem to have, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But again, I'm not a mean person. So when I got that one message from somebody saying, if I'm sorry if I'm bothering you, that I was like, no, please, God, I cannot tell you how amazed I am that you give enough of a shit about me to care whether or not I answer you.
Right.
I especially somebody who was a shy kid. I mean, I was shy till I was 14.
Yeah.
That anybody knows. It's very much the same feeling I had the first time I went on stage in high school and said a funny line and everybody laughed at what I just said. It was like a fucking drug. And this is very much the same way, but I do try to come at it from a very humble perspective, because I honestly can't believe it. That was somebody else's words I was saying.
Right.
This is people responding to me, and I don't want to be that dickhead who never talks to people who enjoy their content. It's one of the reasons I love the streams and interacting with our chat there, because these guys are great.
Oh, yeah, we were just talking about this, and guys, just so you know, it's like almost every stream, at least as far as I can remember back now, up until the very first one we did, the fact that something is posted that a stream is coming, and we show up and there's already like 25, 50 people waiting for us. It's just like, holy shit. And we were saying it just before this stream started. It's like, are people waiting? Like, oh, they're already there. Like, holy shit, what these guys, it's so cool to have like this little, like, I mean, I think about like guys who had radio shows or have radio shows, and how now they can sort of interact live with their audience through Twitter or Facebook or whatever else. But, just a few years ago, you knew you had an audience because of some metrics that were out there, on some numbers that were being printed out based on some statistics or some measurement. But now it's like we're talking to our audience live. We're seeing people show up, and we're seeing the same, and we can identify who everybody is individually. Again, I know I'm geeking out here, but it's still just an amazing thing, because this is all new to me. Okay, YouTube is a 6-month now experience that I've never had before. And so everything that happens in this whole process is absolutely new to me, even if it might be old hat to people that have been on here forever. So, I mean, I really appreciate all the attention that Monkey gets. I mean, Monkey stream goes live and 100 people are like, holy cow. But and we had like 280 people on the other night or something.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the bomb struck or whatever. We had
That
like
goddamn thing has over 9,000 views.
I know. I mean, when I listened back to it, I started listening back, and I don't mean to put in the proportion, and proportionally speaking, it's nothing. But as I was listening to it, and just like the news suddenly popped, and we suddenly react to it, it
That was
reminded
awesome.
it reminded me of, and I hate to go back to this because I'm not that big a fan, and people thought that I was some kind of big fan of his, but there's the recording of Howard Stern's broadcast that day on 9/11, and
Oh,
how they're all sitting around joking and shooting the shit and everything, and then all of a sudden the news comes in and it takes a complete, obviously left turn, and everything changes. And it kind of reminded me like one of those like we're reporting live from the scene kind of things that you'd see on the old newscasts where it's like this just in kind of deal.
and it
And
really, that was the first time I really felt like we were some kind of radio program,
Mhm.
because I mean, it's just us talking, and that became everything. And because we were live, we scooped YouTube on that one. Um, Granted, if you look at it compared to other people, yeah, we're small, but for us, that was a huge night.
Right.
Um, I've listened to that part. I had to for the video that I did, and I listened to actually quite a few parts, trying to pick the one that I actually wanted to use. And our reaction, I love it, because it's, you're exactly right. It's that, holy shit, what just happened in the world? And you were talking about how technology has changed and things. I was recording my granddaughter's birthday today, and
Hmm.
I told everybody what I'll do is I'll take the different videos that I made on my phone. I will cut them together in a video program, and I will set up a channel, just a private channel for everybody who's at the party, so they can watch them all. And as soon as I said that out loud, I was like, wow, the world has really changed. At my own children's birthday party, if we had had a camcorder, which at the time were huge, um, we could have videotaped it, and then with two VCRs, or a VCR that had two um,
Oh no.
loaders in it, we could have recorded them and then mailed them to everybody to watch. And now I can do it just like I can send somebody a website to where they can watch everything that we just videoed on a fucking phone. It is amazing how far we've come, and it's awesome. And I just can't wait to see where everything goes next.
So, in the spirit of both that and what we were talking about just before, there's breaking news. Dire Wolf put
Oh,
this into the chat a second ago.
oh,
There has been an explosion at a Coptic church in Egypt. At least 15 people are killed, up to 25, depending on who we're talking about. This just happened, I guess. Let's see, at least 15 people were killed in an explosion inside a church in the Egyptian Nile Delta city of Tanta. There was no immediate claim of responsibility, and the cause of the blast was not yet known. Egyptian state television reported that at least 42 people were wounded in the blast. A bombing at Cairo's largest Coptic cathedral killed at least 25 people and wounded 49 in December, many of them women and children. I heard about that, but that didn't make big news, as far as I recall.
mm,
Um, so, yeah, we can't go a day, it seems. We can't go a day. There was a shooting in Florida that turned out to be a disgruntled worker, but the first thought that springs to mind is, and every headline now where there is a shooting or an explosion or something else, one of the first things they'll say in there is either it is not yet known if this is terrorism, or this is not believed to be an act of terrorism,
yeah, yeah.
because it is assumed now. It's almost reflexive, and that tells you something.
That's the world we live in.
Yep.
You have to talk about that.
Now
That's
this is the world we live in.
oh
Uh,
god.
hey, Land of Confusion's a great song, and I preferred the Genesis original and not the oh god, who did the cover? I'm forgetting who does the cover all of a sudden. Was that oh shit, I forget. Somebody will know in the chat. Um anyway, Scribelight, it is normal in Egypt to not estimate high. They always start low and build up as they identify people. Oh yeah, well that's usually the case with most uh you know killings of any kind, whether it's a shooting or a gas explosion or whatever else. They start out with the initial number and then try not to blow it out of proportion until they know more. So no one knows what happened to Prince then? Are you talking about Prince the singer or Prince of Queens? because I know a couple of princes now and I don't know how to relate them all. Kind of like having two Milos in the world. Monkey, are you still there? Monkey? Or am I gone now? Hello? Hello? Chat, can you still hear me? Because I can't hear Monkey. Um, all by myself. Don't wanna be all by myself. Okay, well, I guess it's now just the scribe show because I don't know what happened to Monkey. Monkey, if you can hear me, we can't hear you. Um, I hope everything's okay. I'll keep the lights on for the time being. So, hi guys. Um, what shall I talk about? Shall I talk about movies or comic books? You know, you guys love it when I do that, don't you? Um, Scribelight, send me a link. Send you a link to what? No, I didn't take over unless, the electronic gods decided to give me Monkey's channel for the time being. Uh, I Cub? I Cub? I don't know. Prince of Queens. Feeling put on the spot, Scribelight? Maybe a little bit. I mean, I've done my own streams before. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. BDSM Scribe, spice it up. Hey, BDSM's for my secondary channel. I put up 3 videos on my secondary channel today, Mara. I mean, okay, it was 2 videos and one had to be split in half because I only have a 15-minute limit on that channel. But Scribe Light High Cub, sorry. I don't know what you're saying. What do you mean cub? Are you talking about actual cubs? I don't understand. Um, we are some who came late. What is SDA? My Danish Google say it is a Danish group of archaeologists. SDA is Some Dumb American, one of our fellow YouTubers and constant guest here on the Monkey Show. SDA had a speech and a presentation she gave down in Texas today at a panel event that also included several other YouTubers, including Vernaculus and Hunter Avalone and some other people who I cannot recall right now. Let's see. Monkey isn't even in the stream anymore. Can you invite him, Scribe? I can't invite him because I don't have those controls because it's not my stream, unfortunately. So I don't know. Let me check my Twitter to make sure he's not telling me something. No, let me I will I'll see if he's still online. Maybe he lost his internet or something. Uh, I'll tell you what. If this goes on much longer, I'll just close it out, and the stream will probably end. Show us your tits, Scribe. I don't have any. I don't have any moobs. I'm actually in relatively good shape. You know, 5'10", about 155. Relatively lean. Yeah, I'm in pretty good shape. I walk a lot because I don't drive. So you should see my legs. My legs are legs of steel. They're just muscle. It's awesome. It's 4 in the morning. I need sleep. Good luck. Okay, bye, Quill. Get some sleep. Uh, yeah, I guess I could. Well, he has the link in his. He sent me the link to this stream in his own Twitter, so he's got the link. It's not a matter of him not having the link. Scribelight, what's your favorite pickup line? Nice shoes. Want to fuck? Scribelight maybe lost his internet. That's what I'm guessing. He must have lost connection because I'm not getting anything from him on Twitter. He might be rebooting his computer or something. Maybe he'll be back in a minute. What do you think of the rumor that Warner Brothers wants to release 4 Batman-related films? They'll be releasing Batman-related films until the end of time, as long as they have the license and they make money. It doesn't surprise me at all. I don't know if they're going to release 4 Batman-related films where Ben Affleck is playing Batman, because it seems like more and more Ben Affleck is getting sick of playing the character or wanting to talk about it. But he doesn't have Twitter on his phone. I don't know what his setup is. I don't know if he has a smartphone or what he does with his phone. I have no idea. Has it ever worked for you? Would you like to go out for pizza and have some sex? No. What you got against pizza? Har har. Oh, okay. Monkey's coming back. He just said in the chat there. You guys can see it in the chat. The people at home who are listening to this later don't know, but Monkey just said in the chat he'll be right here. Scribe Light, you see the story that Marvel says their fans don't like diversity. That was a bit funny. Now, that is an interesting story because that is part of what that guy said in the interview, but at the risk of sounding like some of our favorite friends, it was a bit more nuanced than that. And that was just part of his response to a whole list of questions. I don't think the guy was being as critical as people are attributing him with being. So it might be a factor, but it's not the end of the world. Are you back with us now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, what'd you do?
Well, you said Land of Confusion is a great song, and my computer so rejected that thought it reset itself.
Your computer needs to go fuck itself. Oh, wait, it did. That's right. It did. It committed suicide because of Land of Confusion. Okay, well, that's their problem.
Yeah, it stuttered and just started screaming in my ear. I had to shut it down.
Scribe Light, would you like to see an Alien versus Batman movie? Fuck no. No.
Okay.
What am I
Yeah,
saying?
while I was gone, Mrs. Monkey woke up. Apparently the little one woke her up.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Oh, I wanted to address something. Several people mentioned wanting to get on the stream with us. Tonight at whatever time we finally do it, we're probably going to be doing the fans joining us.
Oh, yeah.
This is why I actually really wanted to stream last night, because I wanted to announce how that's going to work. We're still not going to go over 4 people at any time, so people will be rotating in and out. But anybody who wants to be considered to be included, hit me up on Twitter in my DMs and let me know. And as the show goes on tonight, we will rotate people in and out.
Mm-hmm. And that's not tonight right now. It's tonight like 12 hours or well less now. God, what time is it? Oh shit, it's 2 a.m. Fuck. I should really think about going to bed soon because I'm supposed to have breakfast with my sister here in about 4 hours.
Well, yeah, like I said, we're celebrating Easter, so I really wanted to get back on to say, yeah, we should probably wrap this up anyway.
Yeah, let's do a round of questions real quick from the chat because we're getting a few, and then we can wrap it up because we got plenty. Well, we have plenty to talk about later tonight.
Diz said, let me know if you're ready for that rebuild. I have all of the internal parts. I'm waiting on the case.
Let's see. Batman Dead End. That was a great fan film. The guy who played Joker in that did a great job, and the guy who played Batman. That one shot where it's an overhead shot and Batman's crouched down and he stands up and you see his cape come out of the puddle like that, and just sort of that was a great shot. That was right out of the comic books. Scribe Light,
Mason asked if I will be his. Say Mason asked if I'd be his friend. I thought we were.
I don't know how much you're going to pay him, Mason. Scribelight, do you think companies who store credit card info against PCI DDoS regulations should be punishable via civil litigation? They should be vulnerable to that question. Whether they should be punished or not is a matter of law and a matter of investigation. But depending on the situation, if you say that you are going to hold someone's information private and can secure it, and then you don't, then that could be a violation of contract, depending on. But at this stage of the game, I'm pretty sure that any contract you sign with a credit card company has so many clauses against being able to sue them for the possibility of data breach, you probably couldn't. So that's why you need to read the fine print before you sign up for those things.
My favorite musical. I really like A Chorus Line. I like the songs in that one.
Cannibal the musical. Let's see.
Have I ever had to block someone? No, I haven't.
Phantom of the Opera, actually. I've seen Phantom of the Opera twice. I saw it on Broadway once, and then near where I live a second time. The Broadway one in New York sucked because the chandelier effect broke, apparently, and the chandelier did not fall in that show. So it just flashed a little bit, and then the lights went out. And so the whole big, impressive special effect of this chandelier like swooping down over the audience and then crashing onto the stage in a million pieces, and then the lights going out, didn't happen when I was in New York on Broadway to see Phantom of the Opera, and that was really disappointing. Let's see. Fuck the musical now. Let's see. It's past I missed. Obviously, I missed something. Let's see. Monkey, are you going to get your friend who was on yesterday, but she was giving really bad feedback, so had to leave? Oh,
Rhodey.
Jody.
Yeah, I hope to have time to work things out with her tomorrow. With the way when I said that to her, I'd forgotten about my plans for today, so I might have to bring her on like next Saturday or something to have her on for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully we'll get that worked out before showtime tonight.
Let's see. Okay. Well, I don't see any more questions.
No, me neither.
So,
Okay, we'll do last call, guys. Anything you want.
Yeah,
Real
last
quick.
call. Last call. Disturbed. That's what it was. Disturbed. That's who I was thinking of. What is your favorite musical instrument? The skin flute. And
He
not me
likes to
playing
play
it.
them.
No, I like it when women play the skin flute.
I love a bass guitar.
Second channel name, non-author dark. Here, I'll put a link to it in the chat real quick. I've had that question a lot lately, and I'm more than happy to self-advertise.
Your life makes me sad. Somebody asked me to say that.
Oh, I thought you were ending the stream. I was like, oh shit! Wait.
Yeah. For those of you who don't get to join us every time, that's how I end every stream too. Our Capri's pants are shorts. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
have I ever blocked anyone? I've never had to block anyone. I just ignore people if they're being a pain in the ass. Top 3 female YouTubers. SDA, SDA, and SDA.
Oh, for fuck's sake, you wuss.
Hey, she might watch this. I'm sucking up.
She's going to be watching this tomorrow morning to make sure that she was mentioned, and now she is. She's going to make sure. And if she doesn't watch it, Mara's going to tell her. Scribely, what happens when your second channel is bigger than your first? The numbers on the subscriber list are higher. That's it.
Yes.
I mean, there is a certain amount of ego boosting if you have X number of subscribers versus Y number of subscribers, but ultimately it doesn't. The only thing it could affect is your sense of self-importance if you let it, I guess.
Jay asked, Mara isn't one of the top 3. I'm shocked. Mara doesn't make enough content.
Scribe-Light, please lock
down.
See,
she just said it.
Oh yeah, the Dark Scribe as a third. No, I've got Scribe-Light, and I have non-author Dark. That's the mirror image. So that's 2 channels is more than enough for me to handle right now. So no less Scribe-Light if that happens. So between doing videos for my other channel, doing videos for my regular channel, and doing streams every night, I've tried to make it a point to have at least 2 videos out on Scribe-Light a week, and at least 1 video on non-author Dark by the weekend, and then I'm doing streams practically every night. So my output has slowed down some. One, because I'm trying to be a bit more cautious, I guess, because I when I was first starting out this thing, I was so addicted. I was putting out a video practically every day, like every day. And after a little while, I was getting kind of burnt out. And I thought, if I keep doing this way, I'm going to burn out. The quality is going to suck. And a couple of videos there near the end of that sort of cycle were, in my opinion, relatively low quality. So I've taken more time making my videos, and I've tried to put myself on that kind of schedule. The thing is, though, I'm not making any money on this. Not that I'm complaining about that, because that's my choice, really, right now. Although pretty soon I might set up AdSense for something. I have a plan. I have a plan to do it that's not going to be intrusive. I won't reveal what my plan is until after I've got some things squared away. But I think it'll be entertaining for people, and on the one hand, and also it might be kind of novel. But I'll get into that later on. I don't mean to be so cryptic. I just don't want to give it away because I think it's a really funny idea, and I don't want somebody to steal it.
And on his not stealing it, note, we're gonna stop there because he's tired and I'm tired, and
I got to be up in about 5 hours to have breakfast with family, so that's pretty important to me. So.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. Chat, I love you guys. I can't believe you guys tuned in for this. I love you so much.
Yeah, holy cow.
Scribe, thanks for coming.
Mm-hmm.
As always, Your life makes me sad. I'll see you next time, guys.
Bye, guys.